What's good everyone, Alex here and I'm back for a video after so damn long. So quickly before I go into this video I want to explain what's been going on in my life and why videos probably won't be coming as often anymore. And the reason why is because I'm working a lot more now. Yeah, I've started to work a lot more and like I come home and I'm completely exhausted and all that. I don't really just have the time as much as I used to. Adding on to that, it's like I got a new computer as well, so if videos may be looking in a bit better state, then yeah, that's the reason why I got a new computer. I still need to get some equipment for that, but if I start getting some more time and some more equipment, then I'm sure I will get some videos out. But yeah, that is it. So this is going to be my ban list prediction for hopefully it's going to be the January 2018 ban list. That is soon to come around the corner, Konami did say, and this is going to be my prediction towards it. So, firstly, I'm just going to go straight over to evenly matched, right? This card is, in my opinion, not going to get hit. It should in the later future and won't last that long, actually. I think after this ban list, it's probably going to either get limited or banned straight away. It's a very unfair card, and in my opinion, should just not really be existing in the game. It's like a very unfair version of a trap slash hand trappy overpowered shit. So yeah, so without that, we're gonna go straight into hand traps. Droll and Lockbird. Now you guys gotta realize one thing about certain cards in this list, right? It's like old cards were bad then, but are good now, and Droll and Lockbird is a prime example. Quite an old card and just quite unused, you know, it's more like a stun card that no one really gave a toss about. But then all of a sudden when Trickstars came in and people saw the realization on how powerful the card really can be, that's when it started to really kick off. And I think the whole thing with Droll and Lockbird is it should just go to 1, personally. I think it should go to 1 because that way this hand trap just doesn't get splashed in every deck that's about. I think going to 1 is safe and makes people question themselves, is it worth me really playing this card? So I think Droll and Lockbird should go to 1. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This card is the bane of hand traps in my opinion at the moment, and the problem that Ash Blossom has is it's similar to what cards like Sure It was back in the day. You know, it's too many cards packed into 1, and that's what it is. It's the effect to negate cards from deck to hand, summoning from deck to grave. That's too much in one card. Like 3 copies of that is just ridiculous in one deck. I think Ash Blossom going to 1 is a very safe option. It's, again, similar to what I said about Droll and Lockbird. It questions whether or not people should play it. It's to say it like, you know what, is it worth me playing it or should I just side it? Because that way, there's just no more bullshit with this card because I'm sick of seeing this card. I want to see traps come back, like normal traps. Like we've seen like stuff like Solemn Strike and all that, but not even many people are main decking Solemn Strike anymore because hand traps have just taken over. Maxie, my opinion, the most important hand trap in this list, I think should go back to 3. 1, it is very flimsy. The card is, again, like, it's always been like a very awkward card, Maxie. It's always been in the wrong for loads of people. People never really liked Maxie. I personally think it's going to go back to 3. The OCG put it to 2 for one format, and then he put it back to 3 straight away. I think what the TCG is going to do is they're going to copy the OCG. I don't think they're going to go down their own route again. I think they're going to copy the OCG and just say, you know what, no, we're going to put Maxie back to 3 and see how it goes from there. That's what I think is going to happen. In my opinion, if Maxie was never even put to 2 or put to 1, people wouldn't even be complaining about this card anyway. Like, it's just because it's at 1. At 1, it's too dangerous because like it's very awkward. It's a weird card in general. So I think 3 is the best option for Maxie. Okay, now we're going to go into Firewall Dragon. Now, the card that I absolutely hate when it comes to Link monsters, and I don't think anyone likes playing against this card. I think the safest option for Firewall Dragon is to be limited, not banned. Bear in mind, this is a main protagonist card, like from the Vrain series. This is like the main protagonist card, and the OCG weren't actually afraid to put it to 1. We know what the TCG are like, they're just very for money and all that, co-money and all that, and that's kind of standard. It's always going to be with every company, but I think this is the time where they can actually say, you know what, no, Firewall Dragon is a little too strong at 3, but at 1 I think it will be a bit toned down a bit, so it's quite calm. So this is going to move me over to Level Eater now. Level Eater is basically what can kick off Link plays to get Firewall Dragon out quickly, because now we've got Link Karibo. Well, North America have Link Karibo. We're probably going to have it in Europe very shortly. I think Level Eater should just be banned straight off the bat, because we've seen the potential that Level Eater can bring towards these sorts of plays. Like, summon Level Eater, go into Link Karibo, blah, more Level Eater. It's just too good a card. Like, in this format that we're going to be in, it's just too strong, if you know what I mean. Like, Link format, things change quick, and Level Eater I never liked in the beginning because of Dark Synchro, and neither did the OCG, because the OCG don't like FTK decks, but Level Eater was a interestingly problematic card that I think going to 0 is the best option. This is gonna be very questionable now, because people are gonna be putting in the comments or saying to me, "Oh, Alex, but you said terraforming should be hit." I'm gonna say this, right? My opinion, terraforming should not be hit, and this is going to be very questionable, and like people are going to say, but Alex, loads of times you said like field spells are too strong. Exactly. Think outside the box when you say that. When you say that field spells are too strong. The field spells are too strong, not the card that is searching. And a lot of the time you're going to be seeing loads of people say like, oh, but this field spell's way too powerful and all that. It should be hit. Exactly. Hit the field spell, not the card searching the field spell. This is the problem. Like, there are loads and loads of decks that really need field spells to actually work, and even like the decks that aren't archetype centric. You've got like crawlers, you've got ultra athletes, FA, those sorts of cards. You've got all those decks, and they need field spells to work. And if they can't get their field spells, then they're kind of fucked. And terraforming really, really does support decks on the rogue side, and they need it. I mean, I'm not just saying that because like I want to be able to just make sure I search Lost World and dinosaurs, but no, terraforming I think should just remain untouched, which goes over to Spiral Resort. We're going to be looking at spirals now. Okay, so we know spirals aren't going to make it to next year. They're not going to be, next year to the whole next format. We know they're not going to make it. Tier 0 for too long, and it's too boring. Spiral Resort should just go to 1 straight off the bat, because with Spiral Resort going to 1, what that means is Master Plan becomes useless, because people will be, usually what would happen is they'll go Master Plan, Resort, and then kick off plays from there. That is basically what would always happen. Resort is just too good for field spell, for Spiral. Like, I said this a long time ago, and I will say it again, if Helix was never created, Spiral would just always be a good like roguey kind of deck. It wouldn't really be that much, but it kind of just proves that just when one card comes out, that all of a sudden a deck can explode, and that's just going to go over to Double Helix right now. Personally, this is again the point I'm trying to prove. There's that new Pendulum Link monster coming around the corner, and unless Pendulum get hit, it's going to destroy everything. And this is what Double Helix has done. It's one card, and one card can change a meta so drastically, that it's insane. I mean, I know Helix. Spiral wasn't always just using Helix; they were using Firewall, yada yada yada. But that's not the point. Even if like they didn't have Firewall, it just shows that like one card can really break a meta. And with Resort and potentially Helix getting limited, that way the deck is still somewhat playable, but forced to play around Spiral, not around other Link monsters like Borreload, like Trigate Wizard, like Firewall. Just off those cards straight off. Like, those cards just make the game boring, and that is what the Spirals did. They were able just to abuse mix and match, and I think just Resort and Helix to one is the main thing to do. I mean, I don't think Resort is not Resort. I don't think Helix is the main should be hit the most, but I think Resort should be hit no matter what, because this card is just too strong. And yeah, that is just that for Spiral. Next we've got Trickstar Reincarnation. You just had me say that wrong, but still, Trickstar Reincarnation. This card is it's too much for one card, and we've seen the potential that the card has with Drawn and Lockbird. You know, activate Trickstar Reincarnation, then use Drawn and Lockbird, then banish your hand and not draw again. That is basically what Trickstar Reincarnation does, and the card is just too good. Like, it's too much, like, in one card, if you see where I'm coming from. Banish your opponent's entire hand, and then, like, after that, like, you can just, it's like a Banish and Monster Reborn for Trickstars. It's ridiculous. It's too much for one card. And I think that going to one is going to be a good thing, because the whole thing that happens is if Spiral gets hit and destroyed, Trickstar, in my opinion, would come tier 0, and that is what would happen if they don't hit Reincarnation. So I think Reincarnation 1 is a good option, as well as Drawn and Lockbird to 1, because that way the combo becomes very irrelevant, very inconsistent, and just overall less bullshitty, and that's what I think should happen. As I said earlier on, there's that new Metal Foe Link monster coming out, and that card is broken. And I think that if that card is going to come out, Wavering Eyes should not be allowed to stay at 3. I think this card should go to 1. I don't think it should be banned. I think at 3, the card is dangerous. Because, as I said before, one card can really destroy a meta, and that's what that Metal Foe card is like. It's disgusting. And I think that at 1, Wavering Eyes is a safe card, but at 3, it's too much. Because, don't forget, Wavering Eyes isn't searchable. It's not a searchable card, but at 3, it's going to be seen a lot more. So, what that means is that Wavering Eyes going to 1 is just a safe option, no debating. Brilliant Fusion. There's a lot of talk about Brilliant Fusion at the moment, and I don't think right now is the best time for it to be hit. It's not really doing much. I mean, you see a few Lightsworn decks that are topping, and I think in a way that is good. That's good. I want to see stuff like Lightsworn's topping. I want to see some unique decks, and it kind of feels like if they hit Brilliant Fusion and they kind of destroy like loads of decks that are somewhat surviving off it, I don't think the card should be banned or hit right now, because like it's not really doing much. Like, you know, you're not really seeing things spamming the meta with Brilliant Fusion. Spirals are not using Brilliant Fusion. All that sort of stuff. If a deck goes out of control and Brilliant Fusion is the culprit for it, then you hit it. But for the time being, it's nothing's out of control that's abusing Brilliant Fusion, so just leave it. Grindr Golem. I'm not really going to say a lot about Grindr Golem. You know, people are going to be just like, ban Grindr Golem, ban it. We don't have Security Dragon yet. Until we get Security Dragon, we can truly see what the main problem with Grindr Golem is going to be. Now, loads of people in the OCG have put it to 2, and I think the OCG have just put it as a warning, saying we know that Grindr Golem is going to be a thing, and we're going to be keeping an eye on it. But for the time being, I don't think it should be hit in the TCG, because it's not doing anything. We don't have Security Dragon, and you know, it's not coming out for a while. We don't have a release date, and until then, just leave it. Anyway, that is it for this ban list prediction. If you enjoy this, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Anyway, my name is Alex, and I'll see you later.